Have you ever caught yourself listening in real time to the words that are coming out of your mouth? Or saying to yourself, how can I be thinking like this? Or how can I be feeling like this? Is that mindfulness? Let's talk about this. To put it in simple words, mindfulness is the act of zooming out from yourself. It's being able to observe your own thoughts, feelings, and even your physical body from a greater perspective. Not being mindful is synonym of being unconscious. For example, when we think about something, we tend to get so passionate about it that we often get lost in that thought. Then a feeling becomes associated with the thought, and the thought-feeling cycle begins. We go unconscious. It's like being in a dream or a fantasy that separates us from our true self, from our physical body, and the world around us. When thoughts and feelings start to feed each other, a chemical interaction is established and we become addicted to them. Let's use this metaphor. Imagine that we have these internal compartments where thoughts and feelings are stored. When we go unconscious, we get into these compartments and lock up the door. We stay there for a while and get fused with the thought and the associated feeling. We then lose perspective of everything else. By losing perspective, we cannot observe how our entire internal thought-feeling mechanism works. We cannot leave that place voluntarily. We have no choice. We as humans tend to store in these compartments not only the good stuff, but also the most painful things that we have experienced in life. Even though these painful things no longer exist in the present moment, we keep those compartments heavily locked down because we fear to experience its contents again. Eckhart Tolle describes them as pain bodies. Pain bodies tend to surface again when something detonates them. A comment from someone, an image, a thought, or a circumstance may be enough to bring them back to life. When pain body wakes up, it comes out without notice. It can be violent. When that happens, we quickly identify with it. We again suffer the original pain, the frustration, the anger, the fear. We start talking from there. Our speech is charged with those feelings and we say the things that we will later regret. We attack and harm people. We poison the environment and we end up harming ourselves by reinforcing this pattern. We give life to this cycle for some time and suffer the consequences until a point where by exhaustion the pain body goes back to its sleep mode. The unobserved pain body will then remain latent, waiting for a new event that will then detonate it again. Becoming a mindful or conscious person from the spiritual standpoint entails developing a new and greater perspective about your own thinking, feeling, and talking. There are people like Barack Obama who are visibly mindful of their talking. When you see him talking, you can tell that he speaks at a little lower pace. He is observing, reviewing, and choosing his thoughts before they become words. He is also listening to his actual words as they come out of his mouth. This is a great example of mindfulness. He knows that words do matter. This is important not only for delivering the right messages to others, but also because words are powerful messengers to our own internal state of being. Words infiltrate into every compartment within us. Words will reinforce or dissolve both wanted and unwanted contents. When you become mindful, you speak from the soul. Your true self takes over and not your ego. You become more eloquent and precise, and you bring light to the world. I remember having this natural ability for delivering speeches while being mindful of my words. In my early years as a singer, I was constantly hired not only to sing, but also to be the host in different kinds of events. I was normally given some guidelines of the things I should say, but I was rarely provided with a fully written speech, so I would have to improvise the actual speeches. This was a huge challenge because you always have to use the right words, not only to deliver the messages with precision, but also because you want to say things properly. You don't want to repeat words that you recently said, and you have to make the speech flow in an effective and entertaining way. I clearly remember paying attention to whatever was coming out of my mouth. I developed this kind of quick monitoring system that allowed me to instantly bring in the right words that would follow. Later on, when I started learning about spirituality, I also incorporated mindfulness of my thoughts and feelings when writing, singing, and acting. It has so far brought me incredible results. In a nutshell, these are some of the main aspects to mindfulness: the observation of your thoughts and feelings, the observation of the things you say, the observation of your physical body. There are several techniques to develop mindfulness. My favorites are the following. Number one, when you are talking to someone, try to measure what is the distance between you and the other person. By doing so, you will immediately break the unconscious and reactive thought-to-thought process with the other person. You will then regain consciousness and become mindful of your own thoughts and feelings. You will now be able to start speaking from your true self and not from your ego. Number two, start paying attention to your thoughts and feelings throughout your day. Not only when you interact with people and things happen, but also when you are alone. Another tool, and the most popular of all, is meditation. Find silent moments and spaces and practice meditation. Through meditation and self-observation, you will open your internal eye and will gain perspective of your ego and how it works. You will realize that in consciousness, there are no compartments or fragmentations. You will see that there is only unity and pure love. From this new perspective, you will be able to weaken and eventually dissolve your imaginary and unwanted contents. You will set yourself free. You will wake up. You will become mindful. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and head to our website for insights, tips, and much more. Once you are on newmetv.com, please sign up for our email updates and share your comments and experiences with us. Practice meditation, live in the present moment, and always be the silent observer of your thoughts and feelings. This is New Me TV. Let's evolve together.